Good evening and welcome to a fast edition of UBC News Tonight on this 19th day of October 2023. Before we get into tonight's news bulletin, let's first take a look at the top stories tonight. In our top stories tonight, the Omo singer urges subjects to embrace government programs. Opposition walks out of Parliament as General Muhoozi scoffs at the Leader of Opposition's report. Government owes National Water and Sewage Corporation over 888 billion shillings. And Nagirinya murder mystery solved as culprits Kasolo and Lubega are sentenced to life in prison. Good evening once again. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto. State Minister for Internal Affairs, General David Muhoozi, has informed the opposition that it's challenging for the government to thoroughly address their claims of human rights violations because a significant portion of the information they provide is unverified. This statement came after the Leader of Opposition, Mathias Mpuga, presented a statement concerning unanswered questions regarding the arrests, disappearances and abductions of National Unity Platform party supporters.
In the statement, he presented to the House about the unanswered questions on abductions, arrests and disappearance of National Unity Platform party supporters. The leader of the opposition, Mathias Mpuga, wants accountability for all their missing persons, release of all political prisoners in the court-martial, and also asked the Minister for Internal Affairs to present before the House a detailed statement on detention without trial.
Full accountability for the November 2020 murders in Kampala and beyond, including the actions taken on Police Patrol 99917 and other listed above, and those others listed above, whose occupants were well captured. 2. Accountability for all arrested Muslim clerics and ordinary Muslims throughout the country. 3. Accountability for all the reported 18 disappeared Ugandans, as confirmed by the Uganda Human Rights Commission. Demand that the Minister of Justice appears before Parliament to detail the House on detention without trial.
After listening to the Leader of the Opposition's presentation, State Minister for Internal Affairs, General David Muhoozi, emphasized that the government finds it challenging to respond to the human rights queries of the opposition, as a considerable amount of the information provided lacks verification.
But I want to say almost all unverified, so I find it difficult to respond to unverified concerns raised by the law without prejudice to what he said. But also want to say that we shall guarantee civic space to the opposition and all Ugandans to exercise their rights and freedoms, but that right is also not duty-free.
In the Leader of the Opposition's statement, he also placed responsibility on Parliament for not taking action as human rights abuses continue.
When you look at some of these few occasions, just in this time alone, I wouldn't think it would be right to indict Parliament that we have not given space to issues of human rights. We have given them space, the answer is there, and the record is very clear. Issues of human rights are so very, very dear to us, and we give them serious attention. And if there is anyone who knows that he has them, please bring them and we shall give them attention. But what we must know is that Parliament has where it stops.
The Deputy Speaker has now instructed the Minister to provide a response to all the Leader of the Opposition's claims within 30 days. However, the opposition that expressed dissatisfaction over government's response towards their queries walked out of Parliament in protest for the third consecutive time.
Item 9, Prime Minister's time.
Shamem Naiga and Gloria Gwetabinji, Parliament.
The chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources and Member of Parliament for Budama South, Dr. Emmanuel Otala, has committed to assisting the National Water and Sewage Corporation in collecting payments for utilities from government agencies. Now, this comes in response to a disclosure from the National Water and Sewage Corporation regarding losses incurred due to non-payment of utilities by government agencies. Members of the Parliamentary Committee were on a familiarization tour of Bugolobi wastewater treatment plant near Kampala.
A familiarization tour of Bugolobi waste treatment plant to ascertain the amount of power produced by National Water and Sewage Corporation. The committee inspected the trickling filter, which enables a gradual flow, allowing the substance to pass through, providing a habitat for bacteria.
Is well operated by experts. These experts are the National Water staff, so these are guys who are very proficient in managing these systems. So we have maintenance crews that will go from the day-to-day doing preventive maintenance to ensure that the pumps are always running. And then also in case there's a breakdown, we have the response teams that come in to have these breakdowns repaired.
The committee was informed that government owes National Water and Sewage Corporation over 88 billion shillings.
They asked us to give them a breakdown so that they can help us follow up with the government to see how payment of bills can be prioritized from government. They also wanted to know about the staff deployment, so we gave them all the staff deployments from senior manager upwards. And I'm very happy to say that we are regionally balanced, and I'm happy with my staff complement that we are working very well with the regional balancing which we have.
The Executive Director of the National Water and Sewage Corporation, Engineer Dr. Silva Mugisha, announced the corporation's upcoming Water for All program.
And this is to ensure that all those places where we are, we reach 100% service coverage in the next 5 years. It's a good program. It will be partly financed by National Water, but also we want them to support us so that another part can come from government.
The chairperson, Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources, Dr. Emmanuel Otala, realized that government has not been able to release the money National Water planned for in the budget.
My committee is first and foremost going to ensure that we talk to other ministries, departments and agencies that owe money to National Water and Sewerage Corporation to make good on their obligations, and that would enable National Water to provide more services. And that is the most critical thing. As of now, ministries, departments and agencies owe National Water to the tune of 41% of all their debts that they have. And this is not a good trend.
The plant's impact on local communities includes disease prevention, leading to healthier and more economically active communities. The visit of the Parliamentary Committee on Natural Resources was to monitor environmental management in the city and also know the challenges faced by National Water and Sewage Corporation. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Now to our headlining story this evening. The Omusinga Bwerenzururu has celebrated his coronation anniversary at the Royal Hill in Kasese district after 7 years of incarceration. Upon his arrival at the hill, traditional rituals were performed and he later joined the people for a reception at the golf course. The Vice President, serving as the chief guest, donated 30 million Uganda shillings to support the kingdom and encouraged the king to incorporate messages of wealth for development.
We want to welcome the Vice President of Uganda, Republic of Uganda, retired Major Member of Parliament, Katakwe District.
Wasija, yes, Tata, Charisi Wizile Mobele, Omosenga, Awabosenga, Awerenzororo, Wasija Koteo, Tokaya Mwikana, yes. Let's take our positions.
As you celebrate 57 years since you ascended to the throne of the Obuzingwa Bwarwenzururu, allow me, on behalf of government, on behalf of the NRM party, and on my own behalf, to congratulate you and all the people of Rwenzururu Kingdom upon reaching this important milestone. I am happy to observe that the king, who is the recognized custodian of the Bakonjo culture, is now back to his kingdom to perform his royal and cultural duties. I urge the leadership of the kingdom to maintain good relations with the government, to address the challenges of poverty, diseases, unemployment, and the criminality of the desperate and defeated ADF terrorists, whose camps in eastern Congo have been destroyed by the UPDF. Their desperate attempts to distract the UPDF efforts in DRC by murdering soft targets in Uganda, i.e. school children, traders, foreigners, etc., will be the final chapter of their existence anywhere on earth. I encourage the people of Rwenzori region to back the security forces by exercising constant vigilance in order to identify, isolate, and wipe out the wrong elements in your communities.
Now we'll be having a comprehensive story on that particular event in our subsequent bulletins. UBC News Tonight continues. The Parliamentary Committee on ICT is on a fact-finding tour of UBC installations and broadcast sites in different parts of the country. The process is aimed at funding different UBC projects to improve its infrastructure for better broadcasting services.
On several occasions, the public broadcaster UBC has made its case for enhanced funding to improve its broadcasting infrastructure across the country, but in vain. However, the Parliamentary Committee on ICT is on the fact-finding tour of all the UBC installations and broadcast sites across the country to acquaint itself with the demands of the public broadcaster to acquire new digital transmission equipment.
So we think government need to really support UBC. This idea that UBC should be a business entity and should be able to make its own money to deliver service, I've just discovered that's not going to work. We cannot allow the national carrier, the national broadcaster, to work like the private sector, who are business oriented, who focus on the profitable sectors of the population. For UBC have to broadcast government programs to all the citizens of this country.
So it is through UBC that such information can be delivered to the community, because it is non-profit making. So the government will really support UBC in order to see that the information required reaches to the community.
This tour comes at a time when Parliament is in the budget framework process for the next financial year 2024-2025.
When they are planning in their coming budget, I recommend that the DTT should be rolled on in other districts, in other parts of the country.
So this is a very strong recommendation we are going to give, and this visit is timely because we are going to start looking at the budget framework papers and budget estimates for financial year 2024-2025. And we think some of these challenges we are going to work with the Minister of ICT to see that they can be addressed.
Limited remunerations for employees off and on signal for local radio channels affiliated to UBC and satellite cut-off for free-to-air broadcasting services are among the deeper malaise affecting the public broadcaster and its mandate to take lead.
Because most of the areas, we have not covered them. For example, we are not in the Bundubujo side of Ntoroko, the other side of Lakai, but hopefully with the incoming phase and having had the MPs visit us, we pray that the management engage them and we have all the areas covered. We had also planned to have boosters in areas that are not being reached by the stations we're having currently, so that we have boosters in places, say Rukunjiri, to cover areas of Kanungu.
We originate our signal that supposed to cover the whole of Western region. However, much as we do the work, we have been facing some hindrances like limited coverage in some districts due to technical challenges at transmission sites, which are not operational because of challenges of technicalities and others. And other challenges at the station, in the studios, transmission, which require adequate funding.
The Parliamentary Committee on ICT tour to the Western region marks an end of the fact-finding mission, and now the committee will present a report before Parliament to determine whether UBC will receive over 100 billion shillings to implement its projects. Sada Mubale, Stephen Kalisha, UBC News.
The Uganda Police Force has launched the construction of new headquarters to house all departments of the force and enhance timely justice provision. While commissioning the construction exercise, the Inspector General of Police, John Martins Okoltho-Chola, highlighted challenges faced by the force in renting housing units.
The Jailos House will host the headquarters of the Uganda Police and will house all the police directorates, including Office of the Director of Public Prosecution.
Is expected to have a floor area of 14,934 square meters, which will be spread on 12 floors. It will also have a standalone conference center capable of hosting up to 500 people. It will have parade yards, a helipad, and sufficient parking. The new facility will be 6 times bigger than the current police headquarters, and it will enable us to bring our directorates under one roof.
The Inspector General of Police, John Martins Okoltho-Chola, while laying the foundation stone of the facility, cited high renting fees which constrain the institution budget.
What we occupy is CID headquarters. That is the current police headquarters. Due to the inadequate space in the building, several directorates and units continue to operate outside the police headquarters.
Justice, Law and Order sector, working with the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, are pivotal in this 257 billion shillings infrastructure project.
A integrated system of working together. We ensure, when we are in a building like this, we'll ensure that it's a one-stop center for all the justice systems. And therefore, we expect that the people who have been moving all over Kampala looking for the services of the justice system, when we have one house, one-stop center, they will have much more access to the justice system, so that we can quickly work on reducing this case backlog.
Currently, police are accommodated in the facility meant for the Directorate of Crime Intelligence with scattered liaison offices, which prolong the justice delivery to the public. The project, when complete, expected to reduce backlog in the judicial system.
Construction of justice centers for our frontline institutions. When we talk about the frontline institutions, we're talking about the court, police, the prosecution, and the prison services. And when we build the justice centers, we are building police stations, we're building regional police posts, we're building courts, we're building offices for the DPP.
The construction of this police headquarters 10 levels facility will cost 77.5 billion shillings and is projected to be complete in October of 2025. Abdul Nasir Lubwama for UBC.
The leadership conflict within the UPC party has taken a new turn as the faction led by Peter Walubiri has issued an ultimatum to the Jimmy Akena team, demanding they respect a recent court ruling and vacate Uganda House immediately. The Peter Walubiri faction addressed the media in Kampala this Thursday afternoon in response to the Supreme Court's decision on October 13, 2023, which nullified Jimmy Akena's leadership.
I was declared the successful candidate by the Electoral Commission.
According to the 13th October 2023 Supreme Court verdict, Jimmy Akena had been occupying the party's presidency illegally since 2015.
The implication of the recent decision of the Supreme Court is that Mr. Akena has now run out of options and justice has been finally rendered to the Uganda People's Congress.
As a result, the Peter Walubiri faction is determined to take control of the party.
Now has the unchallenged mandate to run the affairs of the party. The hide and seek game is finally over. All pretenses by Mr. Akena to be the president of UPC have no legal basis.
It is worth noting that Jimmy Akena had previously expressed his disregard for the court ruling last week, but Walubiri sees this as the last gasps of the dying horse.
In particular, we shall be taking all lawful action to have him evicted from 6th floor of Uganda House and to have him account for all party funds and resources he has abused since 2015.
With both factions showing no signs of reconciliation, the future of the party remains uncertain. The question now is when and how they will navigate this political impasse without jeopardizing the party's prospects.
Whoever is acting contrary to the orders of the Court of Appeal is acting illegally. We have already asked Mr. Akena to vacate. If he doesn't vacate, then we shall be informing court that this man is continuing with his illegality.
The leadership tussle within the UPC party continues, and we will keep you updated as events unfold. This is an ongoing story, so stay tuned for more updates on the UPC president's friction. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
FDC Katonga-based faction youths have accused the Najanankumbi faction of betraying them by accepting money from NRM Chairman President Lauryn Masika to divide their party. However, NRM Deputy Spokesperson Rogers Mulindwa responded to them as NRM has time for issues of national importance.
There have been complaints in the opposition parties, especially over management and leadership, a ground that has seen many appeal to the courts of law while others have split up. Recently, the FDC party split into two factions, the Katonga and Najanankumbi sides. The Najanankumbi faction attempting to hold a congress amidst opposition from the Katonga. It's against this background that FDC youths at Katonga have stated that their differences are stemming from the money given by the NRM chairman, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, to divide them apart.
Continued hunger of feasting on rival political organizations, like he did with our colleagues in the UPC and DP, and most recently our own party, FDC, where our own leaders have been bought off.
The group further stressed that the NRM decided to use the Najanankumbi faction, led by Engineer Patrick Oboy Amuriat and others, to disrupt FDC.
Bwogenda mu bibiina by'obufuzi olwaleero kati wagala waliwo abatuma mbusemanya FDC Katonga, FDC Najanankumbi. Ebyo byonna Nandala ne Amuriat bakozi ba mwami Museveni basindika.
We're going to rise up and offer leadership to the Ugandan youthful population to fight and save the multi-party democracy.
However, NRM Deputy Spokesperson Rogers Mulindo refuted all of these allegations, lamenting as they had no stronger foundation to acquire power.
Challenge with the FDC, they didn't have the ideology. Somebody got aggrieved with NRM, perhaps he wanted better positions which he didn't get, and then walked out of the government, went to start a political party. Promised Ugandans that Museveni would be removed from power at the earliest possible. Years later, Museveni is still around. So what would you expect? So one, we cannot facilitate a faction of FDC or UPC or DP. We can't do that. That one is 100% wrong. We can't engage ourselves into that. But secondly, for us, we have invited those who think that they have issues within their political parties. They can come and join NRM. There is no danger. There are those that have done it before.
Mulindo denied that President Museveni-led NRM is driving divisions in opposition parties, asserting they are only concentrating on issues of national importance.
It's regrettable that our sister political parties have that kind of thinking. We are a political party that has its own programs to run. We cannot again engage ourselves into other matters of other political parties.
Youth also presented a roadmap and plans for youth leadership elections across the country.
By a National Youth Delegates Conference that will be convened on 7th March 2024. And from there, we shall deliver a solid team to the FDC that will back up the mainstream and hold hands together with the Women's League.
I'm Ivan Juko for UBC.
Kasolo Kompuliamu and Lubega Johnson have been sentenced to life in prison by the High Court after being found guilty of the murder of Maria Nagirinya and her driver Ronald Chitaimbwa. Judge Isaac Muwata imposed this severe sentence, stating that the two showed no remorse throughout the trial despite their knowledge of the offences they committed.
Individuals involved in the murder of Maria Nagirinya and Ronald Chitaimbwa included Kasolo Kopliam, Lubega Johnson, Kalyango Nassif, Jessica Hassan, Panga Sharif, and Katerega Shadat. A trial presided over by Judge Isaac Muwata. 4 of the 5 suspects were convicted on all the 6 counts brought against them. The conviction was based on the testimony of Isaac Sennabulia, who pleaded guilty and received a 40-year prison sentence. Sennabulia implicated himself as being with the accused during the kidnap and murder. Court also relied on the surveillance camera evidence, telephone communications between the convict, confirming the brutal murder of the victims. However, Katerega Sadat, a friend of Kasolo, was acquitted on grounds that the evidence didn't establish his direct involvement in the crimes.
Neither was he identified by any of the witnesses as having participated in the commission of the said offences.
Judge Isaac Muwata sentenced Kasolo Kopliam and Lubega Johnson to life imprisonment due to lack of remorse during the entire trial, despite their clear knowledge of their crimes.
The murder of the victims was gruesome. It was terrible, and no amount of punishment would compensate the lives of the deceased persons. There is a need for deterrence in order to discourage other offenders from committing similar offences against innocent victims.
Jessica Hassan, Mpanga Sharif and Kalyango Nassif were each sentenced to 30 years in prison on all the accounts, and they were considered as border riders who didn't play direct role in the offences.
Each of them looked remorseful, and they are first offenders and were not actively involved in the committing of the alleged offences.
However, they are not satisfied with the decision of the court. So we are going to appeal against the decision of the court.
A2 has been convicted, but he has not been given a death penalty.
as the state wanted. So to me that is success.
Following the verdict, Jacqueline Yoko, spokesperson from the DPP's office, welcomed the court's decision.
So their arrest, prosecution and convictions have subdued that criminal gang, and therefore members of Natete can now be peaceful and secure as a result.
Anthony Lubowa, the father of Maria Nagiri and relatives of the deceased, spoke to UBC after the court proceedings.
I was somehow satisfied that the case was well handled. The judge did a good job, and I thank my lawyers, the government lawyers. They have done a good job.
So I think we have finally gotten the fair judgment that we've always wanted as a family. I believe it's going to be an example for everyone.
This time we thought that why is judgment taking long? But we thank God that everything has come to an end.
Maria Nagiri and her driver Ronald Chitaimbwa were abducted on February 28, 2019 from Lunguja and subsequently killed in Nabituli village in Chiyunga Mukono district. Deborah Namamonde, Susan Nabogode, UBC News.
Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development Betty Amongi has underscored government's role in creating economic opportunities, providing access to quality education and healthcare, and promoting gender equality through policies and partnerships. Amongi made the remarks during the celebration of the International Day of the Girl Child in Kampala.
Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development Betty Amongi has pledged government's commitment to maintain policies that promote gender equality and access to education. Amongi made the remarks during celebrations of the International Girl Child Day in Kampala, stressing the importance of universal primary education and secondary education programs which aim to provide education to rural communities and those who cannot afford private schools.
So we have to form policy and program for skilling. That's why you see the president has what is called the Presidential Skilling Program. That's why under the Ministry of Gender, we have also a skilling program. That's why under the Ministry of Education, you have skilling program and technical institutions to support those who will reach O-level and say, I cannot, maybe got pregnant, the parents say, we are not able to pay you. What other option does that girl have?
Amongi says government is committed to supporting both the poor and the middle class by providing educational materials, teachers, benches, sanitation facilities, and other necessities to ensure that all students, regardless of their economic background, have access to quality education.
Dismantling the cultural, social aspect of society, because all this we are talking about is because society has defined the social structure that when you're a girl, you should not have this, you should not have this, you should not do this, but boys can do it. When you're a girl, you are not able to be an engineer, you cannot be a doctor, you cannot be this. Now it's our role to dismantle those cultural, social, religious barriers.
She said there is need to ensure that students are healthy while studying is a priority. 1 out of 4 children, for instance, the girl child, they have bearing children. What does that mean? It means that there is a high risk in terms of pregnancy, teenage pregnancy, and early marriages. So we are saying that the main point here to note is that education of the girl child is very, very important. This involves having accessible hospitals, healthcare facilities, and family planning services. The Ireland ambassador to Uganda, Kevin Colgan, says Uganda is witnessing increased commitment to education and vocational training for youth, especially girls. The importance of creating safe spaces for young women, ensuring their protection, and respecting their dignity and security was stressed with a mention of a second chance.
That offer a second chance and other relevant opportunities to many vulnerable and disadvantaged girls to access and complete education and training.
The International Day of the Girl Child is being celebrated under the theme Investing in Girls' Rights. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cashback every week. It's free of charge.
Wano nno tuli Bukoto era lero we tugenda okugaba pichipichi yaffe eri omwanguzi waffe wano we tuzze.
I'm so excited and I'm sure even all the people, all the staff at Kwaliwath are all excited. We thank you very, very much.
Myaka 25 nga MTN ewereza naye nga buli week tugaba pichipichi 5.
Very, very excited. I'm excited about MTN giving back to its customers. I'm really grateful. Thank you so much, MTN.
The fact that we have won really shows that people like Mama. Their services are really nice. MTN, your services are okay. The network is good. We are satisfied.
Chikola sense ne?
Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Metu Bus Industries Namambe, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators and special purpose vans. Metu Bus Industries offers a range of buses known for safety, comfort and reliability. Depending on your needs, a bus can simply be a point A to point B people mover with just seats or a special design that includes a restroom, power outlet, Wi-Fi, television and a refreshment center. Buy your buses from Metu and support industrialization of Uganda.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
So, you are ready to invest in Airtel's initial public offering? Good choice. I'm going to show you how to do it straight from your phone. First, you're going to want to make sure you have a Securities Central Depository SCD account. Dial *185*85# from your Airtel number. Choose Airtel IPO purchase from the available options. Enter your valid national identification number when prompted. Before you purchase, there are a few things you need to know. The minimum purchase is 2,500 shares. The share price is 100 Uganda shillings. Select the number of shares you wish to purchase. Choose your relevant broker for the purchase. Enter your Airtel Money PIN to confirm the transaction. Congratulations! You receive a confirmation message of your successful purchase.
In this family, we can't agree on anything.
Martha.
We can't even agree on what to watch. All the games to play.
Martha.
Ndowoza Mulabi, we can't even agree on what to eat. At least the one thing for now we can all agree on is the soap to use. He likes that it's big and lasts long. Anti-economy. I like that it keeps my skin smooth. Ate alina echovu. And the children like that. It smells amazing. Everyone is happy. Movit soap comes in 4 fantastic flavors. Movit family soap is truly soap for the whole family.
Movit. All day confidence.
Lagos.
Are you passionate about a healthy living and wealth generation for your household? Learn how you can easily tap wealth and health from Mother Nature using science and technology. Omukenkufu Nyanzi Julius Echuma Chiwagala Chuma has written a knowledge-packed book, Money Grows on Trees, Sente Zimera Committee. Grab your copy today at 20,000 shillings only at Prof Bioresearch Equatorial Mall, Aristoc Booklex branches, Acacia Mall, Garden City, Kampala Road, and Jumia, Uganda. Or call 0703 152 152 for deliveries. Remember, Money Grows on Trees, Sente Zimera Committee book is autographed by Omukenkufu Nyanzi Julius himself.
Welcome back from the break. Now the Parliament's Committee on Rules, Discipline and Privileges is constrained by the suspension of Mityana Municipality Member of Parliament Francis Zake from accessing Parliament. The committee, which had scheduled to initiate investigations into the allegations of poor public conduct by MP Zake, will have to wait until the suspension of the Mityana legislature ends. Father Charles Onen, the committee's vice chairperson, urges MPs to avoid misusing their position to attract political capital.
On Tuesday this week, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Thomas Tayebwa, suspended 5 members of Parliament subscribing to the opposition after drama ensued when the House did not reach a consensus to play a video tabled by the leader of opposition, Mathias Mpuuga, on allegations relating to human rights abuse in Uganda.
I invoke my powers under Rule 89 4 of our Rules of Procedure, suspend the following members for 3 days. Number 1, Honorable Namboze. Number 2, Honorable Zake.
The suspended members vowed to continue with their parliamentary activities on grounds that they are servants of their respective electorate.
If it means sleeping here, I'm going to sleep here. Nothing like stopping me from doing my duty as the Mityana municipality people sent me here to do my work as a member of parliament. And I'm here to stay.
But the parliament's regulations bar any member who is on suspension from accessing any designated premise of Parliament, as explained by Chris Obori, the head of communication at Parliament.
It means you will not appear in the chamber, you will not appear in the public gallery, you will not appear in the lobby, you will not appear in the grounds of Parliament, or any other place that the Speaker will have designated as Parliament at that particular time. So the offices of Parliament are precincts of Parliament. Okay.
This has affected the investigations by the Parliament's Committee on Rules, Privileges and Discipline on the alleged misconduct by MP Zake Francis, who was referred to this committee by the Deputy Speaker Thomas Tayebwa last week.
But you cannot now represent your people in the House. You cannot talk. You cannot appear before any committee. You cannot attend any committee meeting. No committee can ever even summon you to appear before them to answer pertaining, concerning other, like for the case of Zake. The Committee on Discipline, Rules and Discipline cannot now call Zake because he cannot access Parliament.
Zake is among others accused of using vulgar language against MP Juliet Chinyamatama while in Rakai district.
And we have already notified him and the other witnesses that on Wednesday we will begin hearing the work.
This and many developing events, including opposition walkout protest, have since last week tested the patience of the rules and procedure of Parliament. The Deputy Speaker, Thomas Tayebwa, was witnessed in his Wednesday communication to the MPs, emphasizing the strictness of the regulations as a way forward to contain the increasing commotion in the House.
Okay, I want to read for you verbatim 2 very critical rules. One is Rule 83. A member shall enter or leave the House with decorum. B, a member shall not cross the floor of the House or move around unnecessarily. While a member is speaking, all other members shall be silent and shall not make unseemly interruptions.
Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gutabinji, UBC News.
Contractors on the USMID projects in Uganda have received a firm warning against shady work. The cautionary message came from Olive Nalugo, a senior engineer, during her inspection of a 14 billion shillings project in Chiriandongo district.
Nalugo, representing Uganda's support to municipality infrastructure development USMID program, urged contractors across 30 districts engaged in multi-million projects to prioritize quality. She emphasized that no project would be commissioned or paid for if it fell below the standard expected. This directive was emphasized during the scrutiny of over 14 billion shillings worth of projects in Chiriandongo district, encompassing the construction of roads and playgrounds handled by various contractors.
We found some finished roads, but they need a bit of maintenance, which we are going to recommend to them. The works are still within defects liability, and we expect that the contractor should be able to maintain the roads. But otherwise, we found that the progress is very good, and we expect that Chiriandongo will be able to complete their projects by end of November. They should be done.
Nalugo further urged the communities benefiting from these projects to ensure their long-term maintenance. Simultaneously, she appealed to the contractors to meet the project deadlines.
These are your projects. You should be able to manage your projects, to keep them, to maintain these projects, keep the cleanliness, maintain the roads, ensure that you keep the safety of the children, safety of the features that have been provided on these roads, because these are your projects. You need to be able to enjoy the facilities that have been provided.
Emmanuel Nyonzima, the district engineer in Chiriandongo, highlighted that the district had received over 14 billion shillings to enhance various roads and construct a football and netball pitch.
That's why you see that the government of Uganda has sunk this money here. There are so many activities in one road. So what we have seen here is just one section.
Deputy RDC Chiriandongo, Jonathan Akweteireho, acknowledged that the new roads in the district would significantly improve accessibility to health, market and education services for the locals. Silva Tindizirarira, Assistant Commissioner in the Ministry of Local Government, challenged the contractors to restore excavation sites with the planting of trees to protect the environment.
As he talked of tree planting, he promised me that he would show me a site where you have planted trees and grass. I don't know whether it's because of time, but I did not see it. But I think you should do it.
Gonzaga Mayanja, Commissioner of Monitoring and Evaluation from the Prime Minister's Office, urged the district leadership to obtain a land title for the playground where the football and netball pitches were being constructed.
Certainly there's going to be commissioning, but we will commission on two conditions. One, the work should be complete and of good quality.
Francis Akwanga, director of Techirokere, one of the contractors handling the road construction project, acknowledged that heavy rains posed a significant challenge, but assured that the work would be completed on schedule.
The work has been going well, except the rain interference. But as my engineer said, within 1 month, we should be out of here, or less, if the weather favors us.
According to both contractors and engineers, the projects are expected to be ready for commissioning by December of this year. Sudat Kaye and Vincent Wamundu, UBC News.
And Constitutional Affairs, Norbert Mao, has said that politicians in the country should embrace change as it is done in churches, that after a given period of time, new leaders are put in place. Mao made the observation while presiding over the 29th graduation ceremony, as well as celebrating 30 years of Uganda Martyrs University in Kozi function held at Kayabwe main campus.
The Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Norbert Mao, emphasized that politicians in the country should embrace change, much like the practice in churches where new leaders are appointed after a certain period. Mao made this observation while presiding over the 29th graduation ceremony and celebrating the 30th anniversary of Uganda Matters University in Kozi.
We have something to learn from here. This is a sign that this is an institution which is capable of managing transition. Now that is the work that I'm attempting to do. For the time being, I'm like a voice in the wilderness, but I'm not shut up.
The Archbishop of Kampala Diocese and the patron of Nkozi University, Right Reverend Paul Semogerere, highlighted that many important figures from the NRM government have served with diligence and respect over the institution's 30-year history. These figures include Prime Minister Honorable Robina Nabanja, Honorable Norbert Mao, and the late Jacob Olanya, among others.
I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the stakeholders who have contributed tirelessly to the success of this institution. I salute the founding Vice Chancellor, Professor Jose, and his group.
The University Chancellor, Bishop Anthony Ziwa, encouraged the graduates to become exemplary ambassadors wherever they go and utilize the knowledge they've gained to bring positive change to their communities.
Day of graduation, you will walk out through that gate. The question is, what happens after that? The point I will develop, you may call it your connectivity with this university.
The theme for the day is agility, flexibility, and creativity towards transformational change. Pastor Joseph Mabirizi from the Ambassador of Jesus Christ Ministries in Namungona emphasized that more needs to be done to help young graduates integrate into society. He noted that this responsibility falls on both parents and educational institutions.
I'm just calling upon parents to be responsible for their children. These days they have neglected their responsibility. More so the husbands, more so the fathers, they are neglecting their roles.
Sudat Kaye and Richard Chirembeka, UBC News.
Very short break, but we'll return with more stories after these messages.
Metu Bus Industries Namambe, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators and special purpose vans. Metu Bus Industries offers a range of buses known for safety, comfort and reliability. Depending on your needs, a bus can simply be a point A to point B people mover, with just seats or a special design that includes a restroom, power outlet, Wi-Fi, television and a refreshment center. Buy your buses from Metu and support industrialization of Uganda.
Sebo.
Yes?
This is the bill.
What?
Malaria testing, 10,000. Treatment, 100,000 since we put on drip.
Hey, Musao, can you read this for me? Before I brought my wife here, I'd already spent money on buying herbal medicine and drugs from the pharmacy, which didn't work.
But Sebo, the government gave out mosquito nets. Doesn't your family use them?
We got the mosquito nets, but they got holes and we didn't know what to do.
Protect your loved ones from malaria. Sow your mosquito nets whenever they get damaged to keep the mosquitoes away. Ensure all nets are tied up every morning to avoid damaging them. Ensure that everyone in your family sleeps under a treated mosquito net every night, whether it is a cold or hot season. Together, we can chase malaria out of Uganda. This message is brought to you by the Ministry of Health with support from Global Fund.
No malaria will catch.
Hello, Mom. How did you sleep? How is Salongo? Oh, Mommy, how is Grandma? And Simba, the dog, yeah, the funny one.
Call Bona on any network in Uganda with Airtel Bona voice bundles. Dial *100*1#. Select Call Bona to choose bundles from as low as 1,000 shillings from daily, weekly, monthly, or bundles that don't expire. Call Bona on any network in Uganda with Airtel. A reason to imagine.
Do you need data collection services, data analysis and reporting, monitoring and evaluation systems? Then contact Mold Technologies, a professional research firm that has provided many organizations with timely research solutions for over 15 years. For more information, visit www.mt.co.ug or call us on 0704 913 399 or 0782 602 963. Visit our office in Kampala at Sayuni Complex in Tinda. Mood Technologies, your professional research firm.
The doctor says you are getting better. I have a list of suspects in my file here, but I need you to help me identify the thief who attacked you. This cat thief again.
Malaria is a thief. Don't let it rob you and your loved ones. Prevent it by sleeping under a mosquito net. Clear bushes and all stagnant water around you. If you notice any symptoms, go to a health center near you to test and treat. And ensure to complete your full dose to avoid severe malaria, which could lead to death.
Tubaniriza mu Jinja Central Market twidi wano okubanga twedusa abantu okuwaayo kumbaga ya mwenemu nga bakozesa momope kati je mu Jinja Central Market sobola okubanga tuwayana abatyamye momope neri kwogeza abantu obwamu
tamu ndalo otemu mukaga otemu itanga otemu sita onige isatu onige ash onige yes ayi nga tuwaayo tikashi nga tuwaayo nga tubita ku momope enkola ya MTN miga 70
Pay or shop with MTN Momo and get cash back every week. It's free of charge. Use the Momo app or dial *165*3#.
Welcome back from that break. Now into the business scene. Uganda Airlines has launched commercial operations to Lagos, Nigeria, adding yet another destination to its expanding network. The airline has positioned the Airbus A330-800 neo aircraft on this route, which has been poised by many to boost trade between Uganda and Nigeria. State Minister for Transport, Fred Byamukama, presided over the flag-off ceremony at Entebbe International Airport.
Nigeria is Route 13 on Uganda Airlines route map. The airline, with a fleet of 4 CRJ-900 aircraft and 2 wide-body Airbus A330s, has now got West Africa connected to its network. The flight to Lagos was flagged off by the State Minister for Transport, Fred Byamukama, who underlined the substantial potential of this new route, emphasizing its role in enhancing trade and tourism ties between Nigeria and Uganda.
Ugandans can export fruits there. For example, in Nigeria, they don't have passion fruits, and they enjoy our passion fruits. We have good milk, we have beef. We can also import a lot from Nigeria to Uganda.
This flight to Lagos takes us over the DRC,
it takes us over the Central African Republic, it takes us over Cameroon, and then into Nigeria.
The connection between the two nations is expected to open up exciting opportunities for collaboration and growth.
How this direct route, is going to boost trade, business, education, health, in all spheres of.
Now, this country has some of the finest minerals you find on earth, and why not connect those two countries so that they can invest together? And that investment is not only for Uganda and for Nigeria, that investment is for Africa.
The Deputy Director General of Uganda's Civil Aviation Authority highlighted the broader significance of this route.
Aviation industry globally is moving. In Africa, we are looking at SATAM, where we want to fly from one country to another with no restrictions. So such routes are an opening for us.
Uganda Airlines CEO Jennifer Wantorachi expressed high excitement and optimism for this new venture.
Our service of just 4 hours to Lagos addresses an existing need that will be a catalyst to unlock the immense potential market force of over 220 million people in Nigeria.
The inaugural flight from Entebbe to Lagos was skillfully piloted by Captains Isaac Ogoi and Kokoro Jadan, along with First Officer Martin Ritchie.
We have brand new aircraft, we're expanding, there are new routes coming up, and definitely as the routes come up.
We're happy that today we start a new chapter in the growth of the airline, and we're looking forward to connecting Uganda to the world using these wonderful Uganda Airlines.
Shaidat Nasakum, Sula Kagugube, UBC News.
Ugandans have been advised to embrace insurance companies which have got higher ratings and strong credibility, asserting that such companies demonstrate a stronger financial profile to pay back their clients' claims. The Chief Executive Officer, Gold Star Insurance, John Kawuma, said this at Kabira Country Club while giving a credit rating announcement for Gold Star Insurance's ascendancy from A+ to AA.
How do you go to bed knowing that this company is actually going to pay my claims, other than reading about it or seeing billboards and things like that? So we're asking you, can you please go and check if they are rated, and if they are, what is the rating, and what does that mean? Because this, at least, is tangible evidence that they can pay. So what we intend to do, and we've started, is to educate the buyers of insurance that this is important, so please rely on it to make a decision.
Now, a bit about Gold Star. So we've been rated A+ for a number of years. So this year, we were given AA. Now, that means 2 upgrades. So you go in the scale A+, it goes to AA-, and then AA. So we jumped 2 grades. So it's a big, big statement.
The Uganda Badminton Association with partners launched the 5th edition of the City Tires East Africa Badminton Challenge that will take place in Uganda at Lugogo Indoor Stadium from the 26th to the 29th of October 2023. We have more details in this report.
The tournament, that is expected to have over 400 players from Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda, Burundi and Tanzania, will be played in both teams and individual formats with singles, doubles and mixed games.
We have got different categories in this tournament, where we have got the school category, we have got the university category, we have got the corporate category, we have got the professionals, we have got the nationals, and then of course the overall Nations Cup. Corporate, for us, we are looking at corporate institutions, companies, people who are working in offices. Of course, professionals are for those players, national players, but also encourage others to come in and enjoy the good shots that comes with these good players. The deadline for registration is Monday, 23rd October at 5 p.m. The winning teams are going to get the big trophy. And of course, those players that played in the team event are going to get their trophies also. So
the Ugandan players who are from different Olympic qualifying events are ready and expect victory in the forthcoming event.
I'm well prepared for the tournament. Since we've been having some competitions before, it has helped me realize my mistakes so I can improve more and get prepared for this challenge.
I feel I'm ready for this tournament because according to the mistakes that were happening in the game that I was playing recently, I went back and I rectified those mistakes, and I believe now this time I'm better and I'm going to play my best.
The sponsors are delighted to partner with the event.
What they are doing is not just entertainment. They are lifting Uganda badminton level to another level. I hope that through this tournament that they can develop them all and also bring more players, more children to participating in this game.
Though Uganda has won most editions, Kenya are the reigning champions of this tournament. This year's competition will be the 5th edition, played from the 26th to the 29th of October 2023 at the Lugogo Indoor Stadium. Grace Joyce Kemigisa, UBC News.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, that wraps it up for our first edition. Do join us at 10 o'clock for our second edition of UBC News Tonight. I'm Lauryn Masika Kazimoto. See you at 10.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Hello, my name is Sophia and welcome to yet another episode on palliative care. Today we are down at Lira Regional Referral Hospital and we are going to take you into the unit on palliative care. But let's get to hear from the experts themselves as they explore and tell us more detail on the subject matter. Join me for this special edition. Palliative care was introduced to Uganda in 1993 by Dr. Anne Merriman. The high prevalence of HIV, AIDS and cancer drove the development of palliative care in Uganda.